and the lagoon is at its most beautiful. The hot summer months are the quietest for the fishermen. They take advantage of this time to mend their nets. They work and even sleep here, with spectacular views of the surrounding wildlife. About 8% of the lagoon's surface consists of islands. 20,000 people once lived on Torcello. Now only the cathedral tower remains. Burano is known for its colorful buildings. San Francesco del Deserto is home to a Franciscan monastery. The island of Madonna del Monte is being swallowed by the lagoon, but the ruins of its monastery still stand proud. Enchanted places like this are an ideal refuge for wild animals. And the island's ancient monastery has some new inhabitants. The ruins are the perfect place for kestrels to nest. The hungry chicks are nearly as big as the adults and almost ready to fledge. Feeding this brood is a full-time job for both parents. Finally, curiosity gets the better of the young birds and they start to emerge from their hiding place. The first nervous explorer is soon followed by a sibling. They wait cautiously on a ledge, while one of the adults watches from afar. Their mother returns with food, and the young kestrels jostle to get to the front of the queue. The keenest and the loudest chick is fed first. Soon the food parcels will stop. It's almost time for the young to leave the nest and fend for themselves. Not all of the lagoon is quite so peaceful. Venice's Lido, with its luxury hotels, is where the human bathers gather. But even here, you can find wild beauty and tranquility. In the Tenue, Venice's reef, one of nature's most delightful performances is in full swing. The squid's mating dance. The pair move together like synchronized swimmers as waves of rainbow colors pulse along their bodies. It's like an underwater version of the Venice Carnival, complete with face masks and disguises. Decorator crabs change their shape by attaching sponges and algae to their bodies. These bizarre disguises are excellent camouflage. The crabs creep past their neighbors and predators like living rocks from the seabed. The tern colony just beyond the city is flourishing. The chicks have fed well and are strong and healthy. The young birds are gathered in a creche, with 1 or 2 adults looking after them all. Today's lesson is elementary flight. But the teacher's demonstration is over in a flash. The young birds flap their wings to exercise their growing flight muscles, but they're not ready to take to the air yet. Before long, they'll be flying as well as their parents. The young kestrels are also preparing for takeoff. They bravely take the plunge and launch themselves into the air. Dropping from a height makes their first flights easier. Once in the air, they're in their element and can glide and flap back to safety. These first flights mark the end of their parental care. Now they have to find their own territory. One of the kestrels has made its way to the nearby island of Burano. It's unlike the remote nest site, but it still has everything the kestrel needs. Just like the ruins, the brightly colored walls offer protection. These birds are welcome visitors, and the people here seem happy to have a kestrel watching over them. Autumn has arrived, and the wetlands once again change color. A plant called glasswort is responsible for this blush of pink. It flourishes in the swampy salt marshes. The first autumn mists mark the end of summer. The bright, humid days give way to cooler, grayer hues. The sea and the sky seem to merge into each other. Now in September, the sea is generally calm. But from the autumn equinox, there are high tides. And sometimes, Venice floods. For now, the water is still and shimmers like liquid mercury. When the temperature drops, the beaches are finally too cold for tourists. Animals better equipped to bear the chill reclaim them. A hungry fox sniffs along the shore looking for food. The fox has an excellent sense of smell and can see well in the twilight. It has picked up a strange scent. Something smells good to eat. But quite where this food is hidden is a mystery. Crabs have been crossing the beach, leaving behind a number of trails, and the fox is very confused. Finally, it follows its nose and comes face to face with a crab. It's an unequal battle, but the crab has the advantage of armor and weapons. This meal is more trouble than it's worth. There must be easier pickings. The crab, dazed but victorious, moves off to a more secluded place. More crabs congregate on the shoreline looking out to sea. But just across the water, the residents of Venice are having a less comfortable time. The waters of the lagoon are creeping into the city. The autumn tides are getting higher, and water is seeping up through every available crack in the stones. The threat of acqua alta, the extreme high tide, is increasing every day. A combination of rising tides and the Scirocco winds cause this extreme event, and the rain just adds to it. Much of the city is only just above sea level, so there's very little to stop the floodwaters. This may look like a swimming pool, but it is in fact St. Mark's Square. Fortunately, this only lasts a few hours. Soft winter fog wraps the landscape like a blanket and brings the year to a close for Venice and its beautiful lagoon. The visitors have marveled at its sights, but many have missed the most fascinating wonders of all, the wild side of Venice. The city is empty now, but visiting season for the lagoon never ends. As one creature leaves, another takes its place.